Hello and welcome to this lecture snippet on the mineral demands of the energy transition. So I'm going to talk about the implications of a transition from fossil fuel based technologies to renewable based technologies for our energy supplies and the implications of that on the minerals that are needed. So to jump into it, here is a table from Simon Michaux where he looks at a selection of metals and minerals that would be needed, that are needed in the building of renewable energy technologies. And that's the first column, and then in the third column you see the amount required. So he made an estimate of how much of each of these metals and minerals is needed to build the infrastructure to replace fossil fuels, the whole body of infrastructure, and this would be one generation of those infrastructures. And on average, a generation of those renewable technology would last about 20 years. So after 20 years, we would need to go out again and mine for those minerals or recycle, etc. Now that's the third column, and then in the fourth column you see the mining rate, which is basically telling us how fast we are extracting each of these different metals and minerals from the Earth's crust. And so, for example, for lithium, we need about 944 million tons of lithium for those renewable energy technologies, and the current rate of mining is only 95 million per year. So you already can see that there's a problem, and that's the last column, the years of mining. You divide the third by the fourth column, and you get the amount of time that it would take to mine those resources. So again, for lithium, you would need 9,920 years to mine the required lithium to fuel this, to produce these technologies, these renewable energy technologies. So the message from this table is, if we want a transition to renewables based on current levels of consumption of energy, we need to ramp up mining fast, very, very fast, especially considering the climate crisis. Now, that takes us to this next table in Simon Michaux's work, which shows the problem there. So again, in the second column, you see the amount required as before. 944 million tons of lithium would be needed for those renewable technologies. And then he goes out and finds the estimates for the amounts of lithium that are still out there in the world, in the known reserves, the mines that we can still go out and extract from. And for lithium, he found that only 22 million tons of lithium is available in known reserves. So the last column gives you that in a percentage. So that means there's only 2.3% of lithium out there in the world relative to what we need still to replace fossil fuels. Obviously, that's very little, and obviously it's very uncertain. We can discover new mines, but say we discover twice that amount, right? It's still far from enough. And then problems arise long before we run out of these reserves already. So, for example, all the mines that were easy to extract from have already been gone. They've already been mined, right? The easy ones. And now we have to dig deeper, find these metals and minerals in places that we haven't looked before. So that's going to be harder. So that's going to require more energy. On top of that, the ore grades, of these ores that we get out of the ground, on average, the grades are falling, which means that the metal in it is more sort of scattered, and we need, again, more energy to sort of concentrate all that material and get the usable lithium from those ores, which means, again, more energy. So, and where does that energy come from? Well, we want that energy to come from renewables. So again, more and more of these infrastructures, more and more of these metals will be needed if we want an energy transition away from fossil fuel based on the current levels of consumption that are out there. So thank you for listening.